Hey everybody, this is Aurathas and welcome to Sunless Skies, a game I've been looking forward to playing for a while, but I wanted it to be out of early access before I did, which is something that happened quite recently. From what I understand, it's an exploration game with horror elements. Supposedly the story has a lot of Lovecraftian stuff going on. So yeah, I want to check it out. Apparently it's part of what they call the Fallen London universe. I don't know anything about that because I've not played the browser game that's Fallen London, nor have I played Sunless Seas, which was the game before this. So yeah. However, the devs have said it doesn't matter if you play Sunless Seas first, the stories are meant to coexist without a problem. So, without further ado, let's get into this and see what we're in for. Begin a new game. If you die, you can only continue with a new captain, so a legacy campaign, or if you die, you can reload or continue with a new captain. So this one gives me the option. And this one is like, nah, screw you, you're playing with a new captain. You know what, let's do a legacy campaign. Only a few player weapon arcs toward target. No, I'll leave aiming assistance off, because if I do this, gentle, moderate. Many player weapons arc aggressively towards target, making aiming easier. Let's go with none, because we'll see how it works. Supply, consumption standard, enemy projectile speed standard. Yeah, and apparently what you're doing is you're piloting locomotives through space, as weird as that sounds. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I've heard fantastic things about this game and its predecessor, in terms of music as well. Creepy stories and really good music. Also told that it's very unforgiving, or at least the first one was. Log of Her Majesty's locomotive, the Orphean, March 14th, 1905. Our expedition to the domains of the dead has been eventful. The Orphean is damaged and in grievous need of repairs and supplies. We are returning in haste to the reach where I hope to make port at New Winchester. May God be with us, for 1,000 deaths wait in the sky. Final entry of Captain Amelia Charity Whitlock, DCM, written shortly before her death. So her expedition to the lands of the dead didn't go so well. That has a lot of concerning sounds. Tutorial. I'm gonna need this. Yeah, see? We're a flying locomotive. You have returned to the Reach, an untamed, sunless span of the heavens, London's new frontier. A celestial garden run wild. Oh, crap. This is the same type of combat that they used in Star Control Origins, which is... I was not great at that, so let's hope I'm better at it now. Where do you want me to go? Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, cool. Your journey back from the Blue Kingdom was tumultuous. Your locomotive is crippled and Captain Whitlock badly wounded. From what I understand, dead, actually. This is so cool looking, though, I gotta say. As first officer, the crew look to you. The nearest station is New Winchester. Can you get the Orphean there safely? Doubtful. Very, very doubtful. Oh, scavenge, okay. What? Ozymandias. A wreck here, less fortunate than even you. We should scavenge her for repairs, a crewman suggests. Alright. The wreck of the Ozymandias. The wreck hangs in the sky, pocked with recent gunfire. You and the boarding party don your sky suits, garments of waxed canvas, lined with felt to protect against the cold of the sky. Two of the crew are whispering as they dress. What business did Captain Whitlock have in the Blue Kingdom anyway? Why the devil did we trespass on the districts of the dead? You silence him. Now's not the time. Leap across to the wreck. The gap between the two engines isn't wide, but the endless fathoms of heavens gape beneath it. Oh boy. Oh, no. I want to read that. You jump. Your stomach lurches with vertigo as the stars blaze above you and below. The air of the heavens is thin and torn by unpredictable winds. Then your boots hit the running board of the Ozymandias and your leather-gloved hands fumble for a hold. One of your companions throws you a line and you lash the two engines together. Only then do the rest of the boarding party follow you. One of them forces open an exterior hatch and you clamber inside. Her interior is cold, unlit, and whistles with wind. Your party's lamps spread buttery light over the narrow paneled passages. You make your way towards the hold, stepping over bodies crumpled in the corridor. Unfortunately, your way is blocked. A bulkhead has been mangled inward by a well-aimed barrage. Well, I gotta say, they set the mood really well. Holy crap. Clear the obstruction away. You locate a length of pipe, so test your iron skill. Iron is the skill of confronting and overcoming. We have a 75% chance of success there, and a 75% chance of success for your veils. Lead your party on a more precarious path. Go back out onto the Ozymandias' hull, climb past the blockage, and enter through a window on the far side, and do so carefully. I like deceiving and evading. Let's do that. Success. The rest of the boarding party follow you without enthusiasm. I don't blame them. You recall the first time you climbed outside an engine, helping the captain fix a leak in an exterior pipe. The wind had shrieked, buffeting at you. You asked the captain what would happen if you slipped. You fall, she answered tersely. I mean, she's not wrong. But where to, you asked. She looked down and then up, then back. The sky's depths spiraled all about you. Away, she said, and you heard her fear. Back in the present, you tumble back into the Ozymandias through a shattered window. Your party spilling after you, glad to be back inside. You have reached the Ozymandias' hold, a ruin of smashed cargo and spilled supplies. Hopefully somewhere amidst the detritus you can find parts to repair the Orphean and restock your stores. Your companions work quickly. The Ozymandias' hull has begun to creak. Your actions on board may have compromised its integrity. May have. No, it did. You find enough food and gear to restock your supplies, and enough spare parts to make necessary repairs to the Orphean. The food will need to be thoroughly thawed, of course, but you've eaten worse in the skies. "Oh-ho!" cries one of your party, prying the lid off a long crate. It holds a cannon still nestled in straw. Another crewman pulls a battered birdcage from a pile of ruined cargo. Within the cage, something winged and furred opens a sullen eye. You examine your finds. You've gained 4 supplies and 15 hull. The Ozymandias emits a long, juddering creak. Your boarding party exchange nervous glances. From the chaos of its hold, you have retrieved repairs and supplies, and discovered some useful equipment. A gun that could be mounted on your locomotive, and an educated bat. So mount the Jerusalem cannon on the Orphean. Her own weapons were damaged during your fight with the Blue Kingdom. That leaves you vulnerable, so you can claim both this and the bat. Okay. Liberate a diffident bat and employ it as a scout. The heavens are wide, so locomotives use scouts, like bats, to locate things of interest, ports, resources, wrecks like this one to scavenge. You now have a diffident bat. The bat treats its rescue as an inconvenience and immediately begins haggling over pay. You offer to put it back in its damn cage and leave it on the Ozymandias, at which point it becomes more polite. You doubt it will last. Mount the cannon. Fire and fury. The Cotterell and Hathersage Jerusalem fires single shells to a good range more or less accurately. You order 2 of your party to get it back to your vessel and fit it immediately. What, on the outside of the hull? Like, scramble over the outside of the hull with it? The Ozymandias groans again. The structure shudders spasmodically. Okay, we can return to the Orphean or we can press on. You might find more fuel, but you'd better hurry. The Ozymandias is beginning to tear apart. You will abandon anything you have not yet claimed. Well, let's go to the engine room. The wreck of the Ozymandias screeches as its metal buckles and tears. You press on through the shuddering corridors, searching frantically for the engine room. It's foolish for all of you to go. Send your quickest and lightest to retrieve the fuel while the rest of you return to the Orphean. 49% chance of success. Go yourself and conduct a hasty search. Send the rest of the boarding party back to the Orphean. Go on alone. Skill of investigating and deducing. Let's do that. Failure. The engine room is gray with spilled ash and littered with corpses. Little has survived the Ozymandias' ruin. You search fruitlessly for coal, but linger too long as the wreck is racked. With final violent tremors, you race back to the Orphean. With a dying groan, the Ozymandias splits in two, sending shards of splintered plating spinning into the sky. Several of them bite into the Orphean, mauling its hull. Stoking your engines, you steam away from the collapsing wreck. You are restocked at least and rearmed. I mean, we're still better off than we were before with the hull, even though we lost some. Whoa! Okay. Apparently that's how you shoot. Press F to send out your scouts. I have scouts? I thought it was just the bat. Hey, dude. Your scout has discovered something out in the sky. Your scout has discovered something. To see what it is, open your chart. The compass icon in the toolbar. Ah. Over there. So he found something over here? Alright. We'll work our way. Summoned by Captain Whitlock. The walls of the captain's cabin are lined with a hodgepodge of curios from across the sky. Captain Whitlock lies in bed. Black marks cover her skin like a monstrous brand. When she coughs, coils of acrid smoke pour from her lungs. Inquire after the captain's injury. Approach the bedside seems better. I mean, inquire after the injury. She probably don't want to talk about it. Her mouth is blistered from the blue fires that dance on her tongue. What? What? Okay. Fire on her tongue, smoke coming out of her mouth. Okay. Her hand grips your arm. Her skin is hot as a kettle. Made arrangements. The Orphean will be yours. Her voice is just a rasp of burned meat breath. Ew. But promise. She breaks off to scream a word in a language that was not made for human mouths. When she resumes speaking English, she is weaker. Her request little more than a gasp. Promise me one last service. Promise. Okay, we can promise her you'll obey. Make no promise, tell her to rest. Pull away. Demand to know why she took the Orphean to the Blue Kingdom. I will say I'm going to promise her because, hey, I'm getting a ship out of it. I mean, give her something, right? She sinks back relieved. All in my will, she gasps. Be a better. She breaks off as the sigils burned into her bones flare, glowing cherry red through her flesh and skin. Better captain than I. The effort exhausts her. She sinks back into scorched pillows in a twisting, frantic fever. So yeah, she knows she messed up going into that kingdom, the place of the dead. So yeah, and they apparently messed her up. The walls of the captain's cabin are lined... Yeah, we already read that. Take your leave. You have an engine to command. You leave the cabin and the scorched stink of its air behind and return to the bridge. New Winchester's further than you'd like, and the captain hasn't long left. Gotta say, I love the aesthetic. I kind of feel like, oh god, what's about to happen? Okay, we just had to let it cool down. Who are you? I feel like you a pirate. I mean, I may have just been the pirate there. He didn't even try to attack me. I just opened fire. Loot. The Reach Marauder is defeated. You approach the buckled wreckage, poised to plunder the plunderers. Behind you, someone is humming a song of victory. Marauders pillage homesteads and hunt travelers all across the Reach. They often carry stolen valuables. Scavenge the Marauders' plating and components to repair the damaged Orphean. I should do that. Putting it to use. Your engineers scoured the remains and we repaired. Cool. Ow. I gotta say, I do like this game because I really enjoyed, like... I enjoy games where you're basically building a career and a legacy, you know, like Sid Meier's Pirates and stuff like that. Bancroft's Forum. Okay. Okay, just tab. So that's what our dude found. Let's head towards what our dude found. The taste of smog, the sound of iron. On iron, we're home. Oh, is that what we found? No. Yeah, I think it's this. A new port captain. Your crew crowd to the windows. Give me a second, I just want to make sure. Yeah, no, it was New Winchester. Alright. Let's head back. Oh, okay, I was about to say, am I about to crash into this? No, I have to actually move into that to dock. Got it. Arrival at New Winchester. You coast into the bustle, the din, the soot, and the steam of Wolvesey Station. It is clogged with other engines, scrappy mining locomotives from Lustrum Way, weathered explorers gleaming with frost, sleek company vessels with bright brass fittings. No sooner have you pulled into the sidings than a brusque station master bustles over. He requests to come aboard. I must speak with your captain, he insists, brandishing a ledger. The usual formalities. Look at the Orphean's doctor. He has just appeared at your shoulder. His face is solemn. His hat is in his hands. He lowers his eyes. She did. Oh. The crew exchange bleak, wordless looks. The Orphean itself feels suddenly more empty. The station master looks confused. You inform him that, unfortunately, Captain Whitlock has just passed. Ah, he says neutrally. Sorry to hear that. Very, very sad. He waits for what he considers an appropriate minute and a half before continuing. Alas, even amidst tragedy, the cogs of bureaucracy must turn. If Captain Whitlock is deceased, the station authority require their answers from the first officer. He dons a set of spectacles and locates his pen. It will be relatively painless. Name, background, purpose of visit, etc. Shall we begin? Character creation? This what this is? Aha! Today, London lies between the stars. Her new empire unfolds across the heavens. But 10 years ago, before the northern gate was open, before the renewed empress led her people into the skies, it lay in a vast cavern far beneath the earth, deep, dark, marvellous. Who were you then? So I'm assuming, yeah, the vast cavern far beneath the earth was Sunless Seas. And I imagine, you know, the Fallen London browser game as well. No parents, no laws, no masters. Let's see, you will begin with high veils, the skill of evading and deceiving. High iron, if I want to start off as a soldier. The pen, the ink, the blank, monstrous page. You'll begin with high hearts, the skill of convincing and enduring. An academic. High mirrors, the skill of investigating and deducing. A priest. High hearts. A zailor? What the hell's a zailor? You roved the mournful, merciless waters of the undersea. Oh, that was the, Sunless Seas. A ministry auditor. You will begin with high mirrors, skill of investigating and deducing. A revolutionary. The world is broken, one way for the rich, another for the poor. You decided to do something about it, so I'm thinking revolutionary or a soldier. I just like those two. But I do like investigating and deducing. Although evading and deceiving ain't bad. You know, let's go with a revolutionary. You were a revolutionary. The law offered you no protection. The engines of the state were set against that which you knew to be just. Let's see. Increase your iron, the skill of confronting. Increase your mirrors, the skill of investigating and deducing. Affiliates you with academy. And affiliates you with bohemia if you go with art. And that affiliates you with villainy. Let's go with your mind. I like going with my mind. Choose an ambition. What does winning mean for you? Wealth? You want a comfortable retirement, and by comfortable you mean extravagant. Many have made their fortunes out among the stars. Many more have failed, broken and lost in the drifting light and the drifting night. Will you be different? To win, gather a substantial retirement fund, acquire lodgings at a hub port, and retire. You will immortalize your exploits in the song of the sky. For centuries, people have launched themselves into the unknown in the hope of making a name for themselves. You're sure you'll succeed. After all, you never heard of anyone who didn't. Gather stories of your exploits and write about them in Winchester. The truth. Even the stars have secrets, but they won't keep them from you. A message from an old friend begins an unwise quest to learn a secret that the stars hide. What drives you? Curiosity, justice, insolence, whatever it is, it will be tested. Be warned, this is a demanding ambition, best played by a lineage that has already completed wealth or fame. Ooh. Okay, so basically I need to go through lineage several times, and then the truth. I do want to do the truth, because I do want to... That seems to me the way that'll get us the most lore. So, Let's start with... Because, yeah, we are going to go through multiple captains in this game. So, yeah, let's start with wealth. Yeah, let's go with fame, actually. I mean, sure. No hat. I mean, sure, let's go with no hat. Hey, this way I can at least see my hair, right? Do we want to just look angry? Oh, he's got, like, glasses on. I'll take that. Ooh, a beard. I feel like a beard's the way to go. Just maybe not the super bushy one. I'll go with that one. That one I actually like. Outfit. There's not much to the outfits. I'll take that. Citizen. I will be a captain. I mean, I am controlling my own vessel, so what else would I be called? Comrade? Nah, we a captain. Ahem. Okay, continue. I made my choices. I'll live with them. All right, what do we do now? Officers and mascots. In addition to your ordinary crew, you now have an officer or perhaps a mascot. You'll need to formally appoint them before you can benefit from their skills, abilities, or animal charisma. To do this, open the officers panel while in port. Thank you. 3 weeks have passed. This morning, Captain Whitlock received a simple memorial service. Her body was consigned to a necropolis train bound for Serene Mausoleum. Now you sit with a handful of her relatives in the threadbare offices of her solicitors. A methodical notary is reading the will. The captain was wealthy once, but squandered her capital on mysterious expenses before her expedition to the Blue Kingdom. The captain's relatives, from whom she was mostly estranged, are clearly wondering why you're here. In a final codicil, the notary announces, Captain Whitlock confirmed that possession of the Orphean was to pass to its first officer. He peers at you with dry, gray eyes. This includes a certain black box contained in the Orphean's hold. Captain Whitlock's final request was that, at a time of your choosing, you transport said box to an address in London. He hands you an address card and deposit it there. You are not to look inside. She gave no explanation. And that's it. You're captain now. The Orphean is yours. You could sell it and be done, or you could take the box to London as requested. Final wishes, and she gave me a ship. I imagine, like most types of piratey ships, like piratey settings, ships are not cheap, and not everybody has them, so she gave me a free ship. I'll do what she wants me to do. The clamoring central station of New Winchester, a place of steam and smut, okay, and thundering iron. Here you can find people willing to pay for a skilled captain's service. All right, wow, okay, there's a lot of stuff. Repair your locomotive. Well, let's see. Recruit the incautious driver. I specialize in test driving, but I'm looking for something quieter. Okay. What you need? You needed 20. I specialize in test driving. Okay, allow the driver to join your crew. What harm can it do? This will get you a chief engineer who will increase your iron by 6, your hearts by 2, and your affiliation establishment by 1. Alright. The driver board's eager to get started. I recently parted ways with the Windward Company, to explain. Personally, I think a crash a week isn't so bad. They disagreed. Oh well, live and learn. Hey, can I have my money back and you go back to town? Okay. Okay, before we do anything else, let's repair the locomotive. Okay, we need 18 sovereigns. That sounds good. Fix it. Okay, we have a fully repaired ship, and it gleams according to that. Crew. We're short on crew. Let's get some crew. Your voyages have grown perilous of late. Numbers and morale are lower than they were. Today, New Winchester is abuzz with rumor. A famous tackety captain has turned tail and fled back to London, promised a generous pension and a full pardon in exchange for selling secrets. His crew are at a loose end and under a cloud of suspicion. Will they ever find work again? For the cost of a round at the promise of days, they're yours. Huh? They think you might be a journalist. Nope. Just join me. Thank you. Okay, we'll do these here in a second, but let's see. Let's explore. The smoggy, clanking, singing, stamping, thronging, frantic heart of the Reach, an ever-expanding port of soot-smudged glass and bright steel, spilling across a drifting, mist-wrapped archipelago. Oh, good lord. Its factories thunder, its engine sheds ring with hammers and hiss with steam. Locomotives chug into sidings for repair or flare across the sky and away into the wilderness. An opportunity, learn about trading, visit the promise of days. Now let's inquire about the war. The slow-burning war for the Reach forms the backdrop to daily life in New Winchester. Citizens wishing to keep up with developments in the war return to the New Gazette. It is famously the only newspaper worth reading in New Winchester, as well as the only paper that hasn't bankrupted itself. Its quality speaks for itself. Read the current political situation. The Assembly runs New Winchester and seeks to strengthen its hand in the Reach. London's proxy, the Windward Company, however, maintain a considerable presence in the Reach. Although New Winchester is still neutral ground, tensions are mounting within and without the port. Okay. Search for your name. Yeah, there's going to be no name. Yeah, it does not appear. Okay, can't really do anything in there. Alright, now. What about the promise of days? Introduce yourself to the seasoned captains. 4 are gathered at their usual table. The masked citizen, a libertine, polymath, and pioneer of the neo-nocturnal artistic school. The bedeviled didact, a scholar haunted by his discoveries. The plucky baroness, explorer, collector, philatelist. And spatchcocker Meg, who hunts monsters. Of course, everything out here is jolly dangerous, said the baroness. Few risk the skies, so news of distant ports is valuable. Collect port reports from the places you visit and deliver them to Victory Hall or Company House. The more you turn in at once, the more they'll pay. Look for other opportunities on the way, advises the masked citizen. Passengers who want transport, rich men in need of bloody work, etc. Okay. Old pistons gleam on the walls. Okay, between them they've carried Nevertine, gemstones from Eleuthera, souls to the Blue Kingdom. Souls? And raw hours to London. Hours? What the Have they tips? Ah, the didact says, fiddling with his innumerable talismans, an essential topic. Meg slides you a stool, and the captains shuffle around to make room. The masked citizen buys you a drink of their own invention. It's violet and foggy. The plucky baroness gives you a brisk, encouraging grin. Ask away. How can you buy and sell goods? You can sell practically anything at a big trade hub like New Winchester. If you want to buy, though, you'll need to travel to more distant ports. Each specializes in a particular export. Meg spits chewing tobacco onto the floor. No money in buying at market prices and selling at them, too, though. You want to look for bargains, for prospects of people offering better money. Buy cheap, sell dear. You can sell, not buy any trade good at a major port. Lesser ports each sell a single good. You can see what a port exports by clicking it on your map. Okay. Prospects. The masked citizen sips their drink. The biggest port in each region has a bazaar where captains do business. There you'll learn of people at other ports prepared to pay over the odds for a commodity. When you accept the commission for a prospect, it's yours. No other captain will pursue it. It's all fantastically civilized. You'll have to source the goods yourself, of course. Find a port that exports them. The client will want a certain amount. You can supply some or all of it, but if you provide all they need, they may furnish you with an additional reward. Accept prospects in the bazaars. You can accept up to 4 at once. Ask them if they know of a good one. In point of fact, I do. The host at Magdalene's needs an urgent delivery of seeds, paying a pretty penny too. If I were you, I'd get to the bazaar straight away, put my mark against it. Meg grunts. Broker in Port Avon is selling cheap seeds. Chirpy chap. God knows why. His face looks like it's been pushed through a mangle. An opportunity. Port Avon lies to the south-southeast of New Winchester, and Magdalene's port lies to the south-southwest. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Okay, we've done this. I mean, I'll get to you an opportunity. Yeah, we already did that. So perhaps not. Okay, what you need? Excuse me, Captain. A woman pushes through the crowds towards you. She is short and square-shouldered, in a neat black suit and polished shoes. She shows you the case of her pocket watch. It is embossed with the crown and hourglass of London's horological office, the body responsible for ensuring time is consistent across the empire. I'm hoping to book passage to Port Prosper, she says, slipping the watch away. I can, of course, pay. Pay sounds promising. Thank you. The locomotive I was on broke down following a boiler rupture, the chief engineer's fault, I suspect. A gentleman fonder of brandy than of diligence. Here, an initial sum to seal our bargain. Prosper lies to the west-southwest of New Winchester. Not that there is such a thing as north, south, east, or indeed west out there. Instead, London cartographers picked 4 of the brighter, more reliable stars visible from the Empress's new palace and named them north, east, south, and west. Londoners value familiarity. I like it. Alright, investigate the box. Captain Whitlock left it to you in the hold of the Orphean. Her will described it only as a black box, a description you consider to be an unhelpful understatement. It is a casket of black basalt, longer than you are tall, unadorned, with a single small recess that contains a keyhole. The thing must weigh most of a ton. It stands upright in a corner of the hold where the crew have pushed it out of the way. Consider what to do with it. Try and remember when Captain Whitlock acquired it. Examine the box. Has the dimensions of a sarcophagus plundered from the tomb of some forgotten prince of Egypt. There are no carvings or inscriptions on it. The join with the lid meets the body is too thin to admit even a knife blade. There are no holes by which light or air might find their way in. It is impossible to see inside without opening it. Even the keyhole has been engineered in such a way as to prevent peeking. The recess with the keyhole, though, as far as you can determine, that is a more recent addition to the box. The stone has been drilled and chiseled away to create space for a modern metal lock. Try and remember when she got it. Captain Whitlock had it brought on board just before your ill-fated expedition to the Blue Kingdom. It was empty then, you know, because you saw the lid in the box carried on board separately and assembled in the hold. Is there souls in that thing? It's not empty now. It is sealed and even heavier than before. But you left for the Blue Kingdom shortly after the box was delivered and made no stops on the way. So whatever is inside the box now, Captain Whitlock found in the Blue Kingdom. Consider what to do with it. Decisions. The last request of Captain Amelia Whitlock was for the box to be transported to a specific address in London. Perhaps you could... Alternatively, you could perhaps find someone willing to purchase it as a curiosity. I'll take it to London. I ain't gonna sell it. That's all. We ain't gonna sell it. Follow your ambition, the song of the sky. Ponder your ambition, where to begin. You take advantage of a quiet moment to pull out your journal. The blank page sits before you, smug and unblemished. The horror. At last, inspiration strikes. You need fresh material. That's the ticket. Go out and explore the high wilderness, gather sky stories and tales of terror to begin the song of the sky. Okay. Alright, I think we can leave here now. We've done pretty much everything. So, south-southwest, right? Okay. I said leave. Because I didn't see a market there. Can I actually buy supplies? Because they said all these places have markets. I didn't see any. I should get some stuff before we leave. Like, seriously, is there... Oh, there it is. Okay. Shops. Okay, so I imagine a lot of this is to upgrade stuff. Ooh, I could get new ships. Okay, that looks fantastic. But I can't afford it. Mining. Escort. An infernal beast of brass and steam furnished with indulgent luxury, with carpet thick enough to lose your toes in. I mean, I'm not entirely sure I want that, but hey. Weapons. Okay, let's go to the Bazaar, though. Because we need to claim this stuff. Let's get seeds for Magdalene. And Sweet Jane's counting house on Lustrum requires 5 crates of munitions in order to enforce a claim. Remuneration generous. East and northeast. I'll decide if I want to pick that up later. Okay, is there a button that says just like how much I can actually hold? Like, what does this do? Okay. Oh, right there. Oh, that's hold space, period. Okay. Well, let's grab another barrel of fuel and another thing of supplies. Oh, Jesus Christ, that is expensive. Alright, well, I don't want my people to starve or die out here, so... So I was told to go south-southeast. Or south-southwest as well. So, let's go. Now, what was the button? There's the button. It costs supplies every time I want to send that bat out. What'd you find? Okay, we'll go check that out eventually. Dude, if you shoot at me... Can I dock at Gabriel's archive? Nope. Look at these guns and stuff. That is cool. Alright, I like the exploration, as creepy as it's starting to feel. What kind of wilderness is this, though? Holy shit. Oh, wait. Look at this eerie creepiness in the background, too. I feel like we're going too far. And then the changing music certainly makes me a little nervous. Clamor of new Winchester can be heard on the wind. So New Winchester's just considered a whole region of its own, okay. Narrow, okay. Oh, okay. I'm assuming this map is much smaller than it actually is. I think all these regions are quite large. So there's New Winchester. And then the thing we were told to check out is up here. Not told to, but that our bat found. And I don't want to overdo it with the bat. Victory Hall. The Assembly, a coalition of independent-minded settlers, colloquially called Tacites, gather and argue here, deliver port reports here to receive rewards and win the Tacites' favor. Alright, I don't have any. I don't have contraband. So yeah, well at least now we know. That's where we take the stuff. So let's see if we can't find another settlement. There's something over there, though. What's with the spotlight? A stopped clock. The fastidious inspector approaches you in the galley. Captain, good day. I noticed your ship's clock had stopped. Perhaps you permit me to repair it? She has a little case of tools and a hopeful expression. Permit it. She gives a grateful flicker of a smile and sets to work. Soon she has the back off the clock and has spread tiny cogs across the galley table. Obscure horological tools gleam brassily among them. Everything has a place. I appreciate the opportunity to keep myself busy. Staring too long at the stars is harmful to the temperament. The fastidious inspector has a round face, brown eyes, and short dark hair. She gives the impression of being perpetually busy. What are the duties? She sniffs. It is of fundamental importance that 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in one corner of the Empire occurs at the same time as 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in the opposite corner. How is an empire to function if it can't agree what day it is? Unfortunately, the process is complicated by the fact that time is less reliable than it was. How is that? The hours trade has seen to that. What is an hours trade? The fastidious inspector, ask for news of London. London sits in her coat of smog. Courtiers of squabble at the foot of the throne of hours, hoping to receive endowment of years. Meanwhile, hard-working civil servants labor to ensure everything runs as it should. Was there a touch of archness there? All is normal. I miss her, though. There is no city like London in all the skies, and Albion is very different from the Reach. Much more civilized. Discuss the Reach. It has an uncouth splendor, but I miss Albion in the steady light of the clockwork sun. These sunless reaches are so misty and quiet. She pauses, but critical. The territories here are rich with raw hours, and enough vegetation grows on them to feed the whole of London, even if some of it is a dubious shape. I am so confused. Ask about the hours trade. Yeah, please. Oh, hours have more uses. Okay, so you've heard the Empress awards her favorites with gifts of years to extend their lives, and that you can become rich mining for hours to satisfy London's hunger for them. Oh, hours have more uses than that. We use them to increase the efficiency of work worlds, to speed journeys to distant regions, to resolve overcrowding in prisons. That's messed up. It does make my life more difficult when time knots and stretches like wool on the loom. More difficult, but more vital. Her Majesty seized a great trove of them when she assumed the throne of hours, and now even more have been found in the Reach. Miners dig them from the ground. She looks momentarily wistful. I hope someday to retire with a modest pension of years myself, to prolong the better part of my retirement. That is weird. What the Ask about the Winchester War. There are those who feel that London is a long way away and that they do a better job of governing themselves. The frontier attracts independent spirits. We call them Tacites for the hobnail boots that are so practical out here. London, unsurprisingly, disagrees. The Windward Company earnestly represents Her Majesty's interest in the region. Sometimes very earnestly indeed. The Tacites call London's loyalists stovepipes. For our hats, I suppose. She avoids looking at you. And you, Captain, where do your sympathies lie? You remember your heritage and the queen who led you to the skies. There are new lands. Why should old rules? I feel no loyalty to either side. What a remarkable indulgence, she remarks with a raised eyebrow. Alright, so, compliment her skills. Thank you, she says, a small, embarrassed silence. It's possible the inspector is pleased. It's rather hard to tell. Alright, we done here then. Bid her a good evening. And to you, Captain, I think I shall make a cup of tea. Alright, well, let's explore some more. Just about rammed that thing. Yeah, from what I understand, this game has some pretty massive regions, so... Where are my quests? Okay. Port Avon and then New Winchester. So we're looking for Port Avon first. And then, yeah, whatever the other place is called. Magdalene's. Advice for captains. You can mourn experience by defeating enemies, discovering landmarks, and reading prospects and stories. Alright, is that an enemy? Nope. Just a scout. Hey! What the f— You explain why you attacked me, dude? No, he didn't actually shoot at me, so I don't think he's attacking me. Okay, I'm gonna send the bat out. Has found something to the south, okay. This is some weird looking stuff over here. Trees. What the? Oh, the Shepherd's Twilight. The wreck gleams with frost. Its windows are dark, its engine silence. Perhaps something of value lies within. Some of her plating is attacked. Restore some of your hull. Try to pry your way. Okay. I've lost one crew. Something precious has been concealed. Got it. 21 sovereigns, thank you. And apparently we grave robbing, but hey. Salvaging is the proper word, salvaging. Whoa! Nope. Ow! I really like that dodge mechanic. Ow! Okay, I dodged right into that. I just take that? Hide advice. Your hull is a little worse for wear. Try to repair it soon. Okay, I know. Board the defeated marauder for the spoils. They lie dead in the corridor, killed not by your guns, but knives and small arms fire. The only survivor is the captain, locked in the brig with a bottle of brandy. Chalk eyes stare back from every wall. When he ran out of chalk, he began scraping them with his fingernails. Little remains of them but bloodied stumps. Seen this before, Captain, says a crew member grasping your arm. Sky madness. Magdalenes can treat it if you can be bothered to take the poor sod. Bring him on board. The crew wrap the sky-maddened captain in blankets, then secure them tightly with belts. It takes 4 to transport him safely to your locomotive. He might not be happy restrained, but it should keep him from harm until you get him to Magdalene's. Alright. You now have 1 tale of terror. Loot the hold. Another jewelry box. More sovereigns. Why do I have to pick and choose? Can't I still mess up the ship and use it to, you know, improve my vessel after I loot the hold? I really hope this is the way to... Oh, Lord. Really hope this is the way to Magdalene's. I feel like we are wandering way into the depths. Terror. Supplies. You're low on supplies. Once you run out, your crew begin to starve. Okay, I mean, I want to. I just don't know where I'm. Perkins Copse, okay. Your bridge. Windows. Fog with recent steam trails. This place is well frequented. Ah! Well, ain't that convenient. Discovering ports. Dock. What did we find? The House of Small Comfort. Magdalen's is the closest thing many skyfarers have to a home. It offers services to alleviate the strain of a life spent too close to the stars. Let's go to the House of Small Comfort. The glass spires of Magdalen's pierce the clouds like swords. Shadowed figures can be seen moving through the gleaming corridors, their identities obscured by the hued glass. Crowds of skyfarers, ministry officials, and merchants mill about the forecourt in varying degrees of distress. Deliver the captain. The nurse brings a stretcher to carry the sky-maddened captain from your train. He'll receive the care of Magdalen's finest, at least Magdalen's finest with a sense of charity, given that he has nothing on him to pay for their ministrations. You now have one vision of the heavens, terror remains unchanged at 0, you now have plus 100 experience. Okay. The founder and master of ceremonies, Magdalen's, he has requested you by name. The host will see you now. An attendant escorts you through the dazzling violet corridors. The host's red door is always open. The amenable host reclines on a couch of crushed velvet, a goblet of sparkling wine in his long fingers. Somewhere in the tower above him, the great clock ticks away. As a policy, the host's atrium is always open to guests. He is available to hear opinions, friendly criticism, and suggestions. Today, he has a headache. He beckons you close. His voice is soft and sibilant, like a butter melting in candlelight. A guest has become rather too attached to a particular attendant. He always requests that the same attendant appear in the exact same guise. The amenable host's lip curls in distaste. He reiterates the aim of Magdalen's, a place of healing and respite. It was not meant to feed obsession or self-indulgent self-loathing. This guest brings sickness. I would have him purged. I have a dossier on our guest, if you're interested in helping him. Yeah, I mean, I can. The amenable host reclines on a crowd. Yeah, we know this. Take the lachrymose guest's dossier. He smiles indulgently. I'm so glad you want to help. I'd recommend taking on the role of one of our attendants. That way you'd be playing the role of someone significant to him. He knows all of our attendants by voice now. Someone new is needed. Okay. I don't have either of these issues. Shops. Yes. However, before anything, I need to go to the Bazaar. Oh, you need the seeds. Okay, this is not where I get the seeds. Okay. So we need Port Avon to get the seeds. Okay. A jumble of undistinguished souls. Okay, that's creepy in itself. We need supplies. I can only afford one. That sucks. Can I sell anything? Nope, just supplies. Is that an enemy? Okay. Now, let's look at our journal. Port Avon. Okay. I actually want to explore some more because there were a few things that I had the option to do over here. Write a port report. Hand your port reports in to the indurate veteran at Victory Hall or the prudent secretary at Company House. Magdalen's is abuzz with activity. Lord whatever was seen in conversation with the amenable host. Okay, cool. Deal with the lachrymose guest. He stands on the threshold of the treatment chambers, his hands trembling. The attendants on duty have been briefed as to your involvement. How do you plan to deal with him? A treatment chamber has been emptied for you should you wish to adopt a guise from his past. Alternately, He has stood right there. He does not seem to have noticed you, his eyes instead boring through the doors of the treatment rooms. Approach this directly. Disguise have caused the poor sod enough trouble. Mother or lover? Directly. The lachrymose guest's eyes widen as you approach. Has there been a problem? You invite him to sit. Stiff brandies are ordered. You recount your own share of heartbreaks and tragedies, how you found yourself here, and you make clear that despite all that, you will be leaving. He nods slowly, and after a quick shake of your hand, walks away toward the station. He does not look back. Yeah, no need to disguise himself as stuff he's lost. An attendant escorts you. Okay. Let him know that the guest is gone. Satisfaction. He smiles beatifically. Of course, my staff will be pleased. It is a risk of our trade when our clients can no longer separate identity and illusion, but seldom pleasant. He sighs deeply, echoing around the chamber like a newly freed dove. It is a trap any of us could fall into. His face darkens briefly. Here, take this. He fishes around beneath his couch for one of his goblets. It'll fetch a pretty price. Take it with my thanks, and do visit us again. Excellent. They are eager to explain the procedures and the rules that govern here. This is a hospital for the spirit. Our staff will become the person you need. Here you may say farewell to a doomed comrade, resurrect an old lover, spar with a defeated enemy, all for a fair price, but do not overindulge. Our services are to heal, not to become an addiction. Some leave smiling, others weeping. No one can resist looking back behind them, even for just a peek. Alright, I guess we're done here. Okay. Alright, so I think, with this though, I am all out of time for today. So, thank you everybody so very much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video at all, then please, by all means, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, or any combination of those actions that suit you today. And yeah, I do think we will be playing more of this because I do like the setting, I do like the atmosphere, and I like the gameplay so far. So, yeah, it should be an interesting series. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Thanks again for watching, guys.